Hi all. Another Tim Talk Tuesday here, and in a couple weeks I'm going to start teaching math again, which I've been doing off and on for 35 years, starting my 36th year, I guess now. And one of my favorite words is congruence, and I was thinking about that outside of the realm of mathematics in some way, but congruence means that something has the same shape and size as something else. But for me, the application to kind of our way of life is something congruent with what you believe. Is your behavior congruent with what you believe or what you think? And I was thinking back on some different things about what people may have been going through when they were wrestling with the idea that the world is flat versus it was determined to be spherical. And looking at some information, it looks like Pythagoras might have been the first to write something stating that the world is a sphere. And all of the people who heard that and wrestled with it, and really it didn't make sense to them, and it was not they just thought it was a myth or thought it was crazy or whatever. And over time, we gather information, and the world, we were able to see things and experience things in different ways. And eventually, we've left the planet, and we're able to look back and see the great big blue marble. But in all of that, there are people who believe those things were not true. And there were people who fought, and in some cases, in some ways and beliefs, they literally died for what they believed in, because other people could not accept something that didn't fit into their world view or their belief system. And so one of our struggles in life is to be congruent with what is true and what is reality versus what we believe. And we struggle when we come across something that doesn't fit, doesn't match, and we have some choices to make. Psychologists call that cognitive dissonance, where we have a choice, though, to either accept the fact that something's not right with what we believe and adjust accordingly, or we can put up the wall and say, well, it doesn't matter what anybody else says, I'm going to believe this anyway. I really wrestle with that as an older adult now, because I realize that it's easier for us once we get into a pattern of believing and just a way of doing things, that we are resistant to change, and we are resistant to really accepting the fact that something we've held on to may not be true. And so I'm challenging myself, and I challenge you as well, to think through, are you congruent in what you believe with what you do and what you see? Is reality and our perception of it congruent? And as we get older, our challenge then is to let go of long-held beliefs long enough to at least look at them and to assess them and to determine, are they still relevant? Were they ever really accurate? And if they are, that's great. Hold on to it. But don't assume just because it's something that you've locked into that it absolutely is true, because none of us really has all the answers. Go back to one of my favorite quotes from T.S. Eliot. We should never cease from exploring, but at the end of all of our exploration, we'll come back to the place where it all began and see it for the first time. And maybe that's really what much of our journey is. It's not a linear ride. I think it's more of a spiral. We keep coming back on circles, but we're at a different perspective. We're at a different height. We're in a different place, and we can see things and understand things. So are we being congruent today? Are we really, in light of all the things that are going on in our world, are we willing to open ourselves up to determine whether our values and our beliefs, are they congruent with the way we are living. And if we want to be a better person, are we willing to make those adjustments? Hope you have a great week. Thanks.